Hello and good afternoon from Tonmeistertagung in Düsseldorf, Germany. After introducing our Magic collaboration services for our telephone hybrids last year, this year we introduce our Magic Server, which is an entire software solution, a software telephone hybrid and audio codec for server applications. For this Magic Server, we made 3 versions of it: the basic, the professional, and the legacy edition. I will tell you a bit more about the professional version in a minute. So the basic version basically does what our smaller telephone hybrids do already. So you have 1 to 8 lines that you can connect to, or better said, assign to 2 studios, and then have small scale applications with it. And the Magic Server Legacy is for pre-existing hardware and interconnecting it with our new web clients. The professional server starts where the Magic Server Basic ends, and starting from 8 lines, going up all the way to 96 lines, supplies telephone hybrids for up to 24 studios. So you can have a facility-wide telephone hybrid installation in just one server application, which can be centrally managed. These 24 studios can also harbor 24 audio codecs that can be assigned to the lines. So you start with 8 lines and can go all the way up to 96 VoIP lines. And these VoIP lines can additionally be assigned both an audio codec line for Opus high quality connections, as well as a Magic collaboration services line, the new feature we started last year, which allows Microsoft Teams and WebRTC connectivity on said line in the same workflow that our regular telephone calls offer. So the presenter can just take any calls from outside reporters or callers in the same way without altering the central workflow. In addition to that, we have 96 recording channels that can be recorded directly on the Magic Server or a network folder, and up to 24 Ember Plus and DHD set logic cores. So, for example, Lavo or a DHD mixing consoles can be connected. We separated the administration of the system into 3 central zones: the studio zones, which is what you would expect from a telephone hybrid, where you can set up multiple studios. As I said, up to 24 are possible in one system. And to these systems, you can assign the PC clients. I'm saying PC clients because as we, with our hardware systems, have LAN and screener clients, it's just one client in this case. And with the login, as it's a web client delivered by the server, you can decide which view you're going to use in the session, which is determined by the login information, basically. Then we have the news desk zones, which are especially need for recordings and interview booth application, where you have a single line available and can assign different news desk clients to these in this zone that can be used with the system. And lastly, the intercom application, where you can connect the intercom systems of, let's say, outside reporters and have a dedicated client view for that purpose as well. Just to go into a bit more of the detail about the server interface, we're now taking a look at the dashboard of the management application first, which you see here. As you can see, we have a few information about the system parameters and also about the studios and licenses that are set up. And in the lower right corner, we see the PC resources being monitored that the Magic Server takes up. In this case, we configured an example application with around 20 lines, so 20 independent telephone hybrid connections. And as you can see, we have a CPU usage of fluctuating around 10%, which means that we can have very large-scale applications on very simple hardware, which really helps the scalability of the system without having to invest in, extensive amounts of money to get very professional servers. When we take a look into the configuration, we also get an overview of our zones that I mentioned earlier. In this case, we have only a studio zone configured. and we can add all the licensing and also the user administration all from the central platform here. But what's more interesting in the use case for the actual operators, both the screeners and the presenters, or let's say producers in this way, is of course the regular client that they're going to use on a daily, which is in this case, in our display here, the LAN client equivalent. As I said, we log in with certain credentials, with certain login information, and having these access information, we determine the workplace view. In this case, this is an example application with 22 lines being available here. We also already have connections active. And as you can see, we have a difference in these lines. All of these are, of course, VoIP lines and independent hybrids, but the ones labeled with a small HQ symbol also have the audio codec connectivity, and in this case also an Opus connection active in the current state. The lines that have the small Magic Collaboration Services logo allow the interconnection of Microsoft Teams and WebRTC connections, and both is possible at the same time, so a line can be equipped with all the options that are available in the product. To showcase how it works, I can simply call in from a regular telephone now. And as you can see, it's like with our hardware systems, the workflow is the same, which is also the idea behind it, that users don't have to adapt to a new workflow or have to change operating styles. In this case, we can start with a pre-talk, hold. We have configured 2 on-air faders and can do regular conferencing this way. Now, adding to that, as I said, we have the Microsoft Teams and WebRTC connectivity. So my colleague just sends me an iPhone here, and upon calling in via Microsoft Teams, I get the call on the next free line because these are taken up by audio codec connections. And then I can simply take the caller, which is from a Microsoft Teams call. I do have a pre-talk conference now, and I can, of course, have an on-air conference between the callers as well, which means the workflow doesn't differ in any way from a regular telephone call to a Microsoft Teams telephone call. As you can see, I'm now having a voice-only call, but by clicking on the camera icon, I can of course activate a video, which is directly streamed into the software. And upon rotating, it rotates, of course. And on the other monitor, basically this is a test setup, of course. This monitor could be anywhere in the facility, reachable via the network. I have an NDI monitor active, and upon simply clicking the signal I want, I have an NDI output. And as you may hear with the echo, I do of course have an audio output on this NDI video output as well, and I do have the native Teams effect, in this case the background blur, all active in my output as I'm used to. So basically, the same connectivity is available for WebRTC, with the difference that I don't have a Teams account that I have to rely on, but I can simply send a link to any person I want, and upon opening this link in a browser, it basically converts their device into a high-quality Opus codec, which also supports video, and can be used in the telephone hybrid system like a regular telephone. The new system will be available for purchase by March 2024. If you have any inquiries, information requests, please reach out to us. And in the meantime, I'm thanking you for your attention.